Watch this thing pick up when those 3 2-barrels kick in. Not bad. That's 3rd gear. It's a good car. Very quick. Welcome to the episode of Jay Leno's Garage, Pandemic Edition. Once again, doing this the old-fashioned way, but I'm used to it, and I hope you like it. I know you like the car today. It's a 1966 Oldsmobile 442 with a proper 4-speed gearbox. This is not my car. This belongs to the Audrain Auto Museum in Newport, Rhode Island. The owner, Nick, sent it out to me. We did a little bit of work on it. It's a perfect car. Just needed a few things, you know, mirrors were loose coming off and radio didn't work. And the only thing left to do, we've got to redo the dash. Whoever recovered it, it didn't quite fit. It got bunched up in the corners, and so we just have to fix that. But this is a rare car. This has, you know, originally 442 was 4-barrel, 4-speed dual exhaust. This one has 3 2-barrels on it. And it actually had more power than the equivalent GTO. This is 360 horsepower. It has the 400 cubic inch engine. I thought it was a 401. Maybe I'm mistaken. When I was a kid, I had a 65 Buick Grand Sport. I love that thing. That was a 4-speed. And that was a 401. I think this is the same motor, but I can't remember. So I don't know a whole lot about this car. It just kind of showed up here, and we've been dabbling with it and fixing it and driving it. Oldsmobile's a bit different than GTO. This is more of a luxury fast car in the sense it's got power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning. You know, most of the high performance stuff in the 60s, especially Chrysler with the Hemis, no power brake, no power steering, you just wanted, you know, just pure horsepower. But this would be the equivalent, and this might be a stretch, of like a Bentley Continental, American version, big luxurious car, big comfortable seats, but a 4-speed gearbox, the handling suspension, the handling package, 3 2-barrels. I mean, when you open up those secondaries and you put it to the floor, boy, this thing really takes off. It's a lot of fun to drive. You know, it's funny. I don't know whether it's fun to drive because it's fun to drive or it's fun to drive because it reminds me of high school, and this was just made of unobtainium. The idea that I would actually get to drive one of these when I was 16 years old just seemed ridiculous, you know. And this was a mid-sized car, which sort of makes me laugh. It just seems huge compared to cars you see now. Well, not SUVs, but, you know, just the smaller European compacts and things. Whoever did it did a beautiful restoration. Paint, bumpers, chrome, everything is immaculate. You know, what happens a lot of times when people do restorations, they just forget the details. We had to get the horn to work properly. As I said, these were kind of loose, not falling off, but just, you know, when you go down the road, it would move. As a matter, there's like a wire piece in here, you pop that out, that holds the glass in, and you tighten it down. But the transmission, the clutch, everything is fantastic. It's got a big vacuum gauge rather than a tack. I've got a tack in a box. I haven't put the tack on because it sort of straps to the steering column. That seems kind of Mickey Mouse. So this is the kind of car you just sort of shift by here, you know, just by listening. It sounds like the valves are going to float. Let me shift now. And, you know, big comfortable seats, not these buttock crunching, you know, Vaqueros that you get now where you sit like this. This thing is a real comfortable cruiser. It really is fun to drive. I like this thing. Disc brakes up front and, of course, drums in the back. It is completely 100% stock AM radio, just as it left the factory. But whoever did the restoration spent some money, and it's a car that's sort of been loved. You may have seen it. It was on Bring a Trailer a while back. It might still be up there if you want to go and look at some of the specifics of it. Yeah, we're going to keep it here for a few weeks and then send it back to the museum in Rhode Island. They've got some great muscle cars at that museum. I'm just a sucker for this era, you know. To me, 66 was my favorite year, my second favorite year. My first favorite year was 1932. And because of the V16 Cadillacs and V12 Packards came back, and it was about performance and luxury, and you know, it was the midst of the Great Depression, so they wanted to cheer people up and make them feel good and show them stuff they could never afford to have. But, you know, 16-cylinder Cadillac, oh my God, you know, all that kind of stuff. And 1966, because 1966 was the last year before the federal regulators come in and go, no, the bumper's got to be this high, now you got emission control, now you got this, now you got that. So this was the last year of sort of pure design. When you look at a car like the Lamborghini Miura, you realize you could never you could never build that car today. It wouldn't even allow it because it's just not, well, there's no bumpers on it, there's no crash protection, there's no nothing, but it's just pure design. That's why it works. Whenever they try to do a new modern version of a Miura, it doesn't quite work because it looks safer than it should be, you know. I mean, the Miura was sort of scary, dangerous, and cool, and sexy, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this is the car. Let's open the hood. Let me show you the 3.2 barrels. Take a look here. There we go. Well, that's pretty cool, the 3.2 barrels. I'm not sure about that master cylinder. I think they had, I think 66 was the first year that dual braking systems were mandated. I think that's original, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. Big Frigidaire air conditioner right here. Got your alternator right there, power steering pump. So it's got a lot of luxury features that rob horsepower, but with 360, which was pretty big in the GM, that might have been, you know, I'm trying to think of anything in 66 that had, well, you had the 396. Yeah, that came out in 66. Yeah, Chevy had the 396. That was 375. So yeah, that was pretty good. But this thing is, I just think it's cool. This is factory. And the Oldsmobile engineers really went out of their way to sort of make it, oh, I remember the ads back in the day, you know, iron fist in a velvet glove, you know, those kind of crazy analogies. As you can see, we put our Optima battery in there because those are the best. Yeah, very cool. So a well-done restoration. Got a ton of paperwork on this car. Got everything that goes with it. Let me show you. There's an owner's manual there. That's just, but you have every bill. This car cost $37.95, almost $4,000 back in the day. Oh no, here the suggested retail price, $4,302. But he's got everything here, you know. Certificate of title. I don't want to give the owner's original real name here. That's no, probably don't want to do that. Let's see. But I'll give you some idea. I've got 3 books of these, so it's got everything going all the way back to the first day. Because you know, you have a car, if you can't prove it's what you say it is, well, you're not going to get a good price for it. And the car shows, a lot of times, you know, the number of people, hey, Oldsmobile never made a tri-power. Yeah, it did. It says right here, it came with it. And it's got factory instructions on how to tune it. See, there you go. The Oldsmobile service training guide. Tri-carb adjustments. It's all right here. So there. You know, when you bought a GTO, it was a dealer-installed item. You came with a 4-barrel, and they put this tri-power setup in the trunk, and then the dealer would, I guess, put it on afterwards because GM had an edict about having horsepower and all kinds of stuff. Let's see. I think this car sold at Barrett-Jackson way back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, it got a massive trunk. Come on, I'll show you that. See, there's a spare dash there. This is how you pull the dash out. You got to pull the whole thing out to recover it. This one is covered nicely, but the gauges have been all screwed up. But 442 tack, it's in there. I may put that on. I don't know. Don't really need it. And it's got your jack instructions. Here's something kind of cool. You know, I don't remember the 442 coming in these colors, red, orange, and then sort of a yellowish color. I don't know if that's factory or not. I guess it must be, but it, you know, it has that sort of Peter Max sort of colors to it. And it goes well with the black, and as you can see, Hearst equipped. The W30 came after this. That was the Ram Air package. Don't forget, this is 66, this is early. I like the kind of flying buttress deal here. It's very nice to drive. You know, you're driving a luxury car, and it shifts. Boy, the transmission is just beautiful. Shifts wonderfully, but let's take it next door. We'll put it up on the lift, and we'll show you what it looks like underneath. Okay, we got the 66 Oldsmobile 442 up on the Sterile Coney lifts. Okay, it looks like a new gas tank, or at least relatively new. Exhaust system looks relatively new. Looks like she's been driven, not abused. Doesn't be any repair damage to the chassis. The drum brakes in the back, aftermarket shocks, that's all right, it's fine. Coils. I don't know what 4-speed, is this a Muncie 4-speed? It's GM. I don't know if Chevy and Oldsmobile shared the same transmission. There's your emergency brake right there. Your pipes, 400 cubic inch V8. I don't know if this is the same 401 that was in my 65 Grand Sport. But that was sold as a 401. I don't know if the 400 is a different motor. Yeah, let's see. This car just came in, so I don't know a whole lot about it. We did a little bit of work to it. Not a whole lot, as I said. Just fixed the horn, the rear view mirrors. Got the radio working again. It's so funny, you know, guys always forget to hook up the horn for some reason. You're so excited about the restoration, you just take it for granted, and then you realize, no, I got to pull the whole thing out to do the horn. So a lot of times they don't, but it makes me laugh. Anyway, nice and clean here. Look, no, it doesn't look like any frame rails have been straightened or anything like that. Disc brakes in the front, of course. It is a 442. Grease on all the fittings, so it's not a show car. It's a car that gets, and it drives wonderfully. I haven't had a whole lot of experience with it. I just took it out the other day for a little run, and I was so impressed. It was so comfortable. Oh my God, just a nice car. There we go. Nicely done. All right. I think that's probably a 323 rear end, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it feels like, but I'm not sure. Anyway, let's take it for a spin, and you'll find out when I do. It's amazing how quickly things change. It wasn't that long ago, the Oldsmobile Cutlass was the #1 selling car in America. And then boom, then they're out of business, you know? You know, you're only as good as your last car. That's pretty much the way it worked. Kind of like a comedian, you're only as funny as your last joke, and that's over. See, it picks up nicely when those secondaries kick in. So funny having only 4 speeds, you know? Now you get stuff with 7 speeds, 8 speeds, 10-speed automatics. Back when this car came out, most cars had a 3-speed, and then you paid optional for the 4-speed. That was a big deal. But it's very comfortable. It shifts nicely. I like this because you don't see many 442s. Everybody does the GOATs, the GTOs, and all that stuff, and Corvettes and everything. But 442 just seems to have fallen by, especially in this body style, this 66. I'm trying to when I think 64 was when the 442 first came out as like an option. Nothing in the interior lets you know it's a 442, except for the 442 emblem there, of course. But there's no sports steering wheel or anything like that. All these seats are very comfortable. Got a lot of torque, this motor. It feels like it might be close to 500 pounds. Is that possible? Something like that. I think 66 is a good year for Oldsmobile. That's when they come out with the first generation Tornado, you know, the one I converted mine to rear wheel drive. But it was front wheel drive, 375 horsepower. Wonderful car. I thought it was just the greatest looking thing. Because it looked like an American car, you know. It's the kind of car you could let it go. That's only be American. Couldn't be German, couldn't be Japanese, too big. That's got to be an American car. Yeah, I mean, she leaps. I used to love reading the English magazines back in the day when they would jump from like a Morris Minor to something like this. And this would be an American sports car. They'll rip it apart, an horrible thing. But they all wanted them. They all wanted the comfortable value for money. You couldn't beat them. Of course, when this thing came out, gasoline was about 24 to 28 cents a gallon. In England, gas was always expensive. The only thing left to do is repair the dashboard where it's coming apart here a little bit. That'll be easy. Actually, no, it won't. Nothing's easy. In modern cars, it's impossible. But this isn't too bad. Luckily, we got that spare dashboard in the trunk, so we can use that to figure out where the points are. As I said, this thing had more power than the GTO or just about anything else in the GM lineup. Although the Chevelle at 396, what was that? Was that 3 1/4 horse? Am I right? I don't know. Tell me in the comment section. You'll let me know. But watch this thing pick up when those 3 2-barrels kick in. Not bad. That's 3rd gear. This is a car I could drive to Vegas, drive to San Francisco. Very comfortable. Let's put new tires on it yesterday. You got to have the red lines. They make the whole car. I wish they'd bring back the red line tires. They always look great. I don't know why they did away with them. I don't know. Always makes me smile. I mean, if you were storing a 442, you couldn't do much better than this one. You know, just for all originality. I mean, everything seems to be exactly as it was. Not a lot of goofball stuff on here. And it's got to be a brand new windshield. I mean, there's not a nick in it. It's just beautiful. It's like I had my eyes, cleaned or something. It's fantastic. Can you get your eyes cleaned? I don't think you can, but anyway, I enjoy doing these videos. I'm glad folks appreciate them. I enjoy hearing in the comment section that you like them. And, with the pandemic, as I said, it's a little tricky. But it's fun. It's what I like to do, and we keep it going. And it's fun to show people who don't remember cars from this era what they were like, and show them underneath, and show them going down the road, and show them dropping to 3rd gear, open the other 4 barrels. Hey, look at that. It's a good car. Very quick. Anyway, this was kind of a smash and grab one, This car came in and they wanted us to go through it a little bit and check it out. And I thought, hey, let's shoot it for the website. I think people get a kick out of seeing it because you just don't see this body style 442 anymore. You all see the later ones, 68 and on, and 67. So this I think was kind of cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I think we got something interesting next week too. You'll enjoy that. So thanks, you guys. See you later. Remember, 4-barrel, 4-speed, dual exhaust. That's what 442 stands for. See you later.
Mm-hmm.